Hello, hello, it's family hour. We had to start and we will be with you in just a moment. Um, Hold on just a second here. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome to Family Hour.
Oh, I didn't realize you put me on the live already. Hi.
This is what happened. The tech gremlins got me because I walked into the studio 5 minutes early and it said it's showtime. And I was like, it wouldn't let me add any minutes. So I had to start it and put the background on it.
Welcome, welcome, family. Thank you for tuning in. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Masa al khair, salam alaikum, peace and blessings. Maskafu and maskagna. What a day, what a discussion. Things got really emotional on that panel.
What was that panel?
Dignity, the case for Afrocentric archaeology.
Yes, you did tell me about that. I remember some of the conversation we had about some of this a month ago or 2 months ago about just like talking to the guy who was doing the letter writing to the different museums to get archaeological artifacts brought back, like writing letters and asking them to return their.
Oh, he's not writing letters. You know who you're talking about, right?
No.
Because he joined the family. He came here with 2 programs.
Oh, he did? See, that's what happens here. There's so many people come through that we don't all know who everybody is all the time. Okay, who is it?
Fusion.
Elaine?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that was him. Oh, okay.
The Return of the Icons. Actually, now that you said it, I'm going to play it here real quick because people need to follow up on that. It also inspired the debate that's going to be happening on Sunday. Plug, there's going to be a debate organized by I Debate Rwanda, and it will be discussing the return of the icons. Is Africa ready for the return of the icons? Are Africans ready to look after our heritage?
I didn't know. I'm so glad that all that came together and he's here with us now.
Yes, yes.
Yay!
Let's see if I can pull up his video. There we go. Fusion.
I love what he brings to the table. Good cat.
There we are.
Bisu thought that we should change our banners and stuff to orange.
Okay. I'll take it.
But we can change it back anytime I want. I just caught the end of the last panel. I definitely want to view it. Yes, please go back and watch the panels. Please help us by sharing if you think there's value in it. All of our stuff is on our Facebook page for the last 5 events and on YouTube.
Sandra.
So, thank you, Sandra.
Hola, love. Did Zaza end up cooking?
Oh, is he sending us food?
Who better? Okay, you can see the screen?
Yeah.
So this is Fusion. This is the work he's doing.
You didn't know that 90% of Africa's cultural heritage sits outside of the continent. It lives in museums, cultural institutes, and private collections around the world. And we believe it's time to send them home. Calling all poets, singers, and MCs. My name is Fusion. I'm a producer, educator, and presenter. And I've teamed up with Afford to invite you to be part of the Return of the Icons Challenge. And it couldn't be more simple. All we want you to do is select an artifact from Africa that interests you and is currently on foreign soil in a museum or cultural institute. Write a piece expressing why it's important to the culture and needs to be sent home. Record it to the instrumental I provided or go a cappella. Share on social media using the hashtag Return of the Icons Challenge and then nominate a friend. To find out more, visit Return of the Icons on Instagram. Together, we can use art to make a real difference. You didn't know that 90%.
Yes, send that to me. Send me the link, or put it in the chat right here. That's so funny. It just came across my consciousness like a blip in May, and now he's like, here, do. Now he's like, here, you can't sit there. You can't sit there. Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. What's Sandra saying? Joey Zaza is a beast in the kitchen. I'm about to sit now and eat.
God, I wish I had a piece.
Appetito, bon appetito, love. I hope you're going to be tuning in tomorrow for the language panel. In fact, both you and Joey should hop on here and say hello. We're going to the link. Here we are. Come through.
So there is something you wanted to talk about. I know you said that at one point today, and I cannot remember what it was about.
Yes, I said that I was going to apologize to you publicly for not listening to you and insisting to stay up.
Oh.
And trying to keep my word to the family, because I did say, oh, you're working with remote teach. Oh, when's the panel on language tomorrow? I think it's at 11:30, but
I'll look it up.
That's drawing a blank. No, but we're saying stop by now, say hello before you go eat, also so that we're not jealous.
Language is power with Momalele. Here we go.
Oh my God, Mama Lele's words yesterday.
She's power.
Did you hear it? You were tuned in.
I was tuned in to that panel, but I also was with two toddlers at the time, so like I feel like I got half of what everybody said, and I was just like, let's go.
Half of what she said. There's no way anyone who was listening to what she was saying would only take half. Like the Mafi. If there was a circus going around, and there was a circus happening in my head, but I almost want to replay it now, but I just don't know where it is on the timeline. Fam, you need to go back to that hot air balloon session that took us around the continent. Because, yeah.
That was the Black Love one?
Yeah, the Black Love series.
It's a great idea. I'm glad he's gonna keep going with it, right?
Oh yeah, that was just a teaser. His vision for it is having a full day of hot air ballooning. So 24 cities, 24. I mean, yeah. And again, we were just getting started, and I love that we were able to nominate people from our family. And this is why we need you to nominate others, because we are just getting started. We are having people join us who have amazing platforms around the world, who come to us and say, do you know anyone we can amplify? And we want to amplify the work you're doing, any work that you are doing for our people. Wherever in the world that you are doing it, let us know so we're able to share it. We're able to point people to your direction as you continue the great work that you are doing. Back to my apology. I am sorry I didn't listen to you, and I ended up paying for it yesterday in complete and utter loss of consciousness the way I did. And by extension, I am sorry because we didn't prepare people to let them know that we weren't going to have a live feed throughout the night. And I think I take this as an opportunity to remind people why you and I are so insistent on asking people to honor their work when they say they will come through with something. If you tell us you will come through with a panel, or that you will show up for a panel, please, please, one more time, please do it. Show up. And if for whatever reason you can't show up, give us enough time to prepare for you not showing up. so that we're not left scrambling. Because we take this as a family, and because we are not hypocrites, so when we ask you to honor your words, it is because we know we will honor ours. And sometimes that will take a toll. Actually, all the time, that will take a toll. Um, Alexandra was very, very kindly, generously, and graciously trying to tell me not to challenge my body so that I may keep my word. Because that's what I was trying to do, keep my word. Because we told you this would be 24/7 continuous live streaming. And as we continue to tell you, we cannot continue to do this alone. If you are coming and showing us this love, if you are feeling the energy of this family, if you are feeling the love that is being poured into your very soul as you tune into any of these sessions, any of these panels, if you are receiving the love that people are putting into these sessions by taking time out of their lives, away from their families, I mean, the physical close proximity families, because of course you are family as well. And if they are coming here, they are coming here on that pretense, on that basis. They are coming here to you as family. Don't just show up for them and leave. Please. Don't just show up, take what you want, and leave. Because that's not what family does. And I'm not trying to bring this conversation down or the energy of what we're doing here down. But I just had a very emotional session. A very, very, very emotional discussion. And Sandra can tell you because Sandra came into the end and she said beautiful story. And she was hearing the closing remark of one of the people. And I will just say one part of that closing remark so that you understand the kind of energy that is being generated here. Because that remark is now on the quote of on the wall of quotes and will definitely make it into a future. But it is so profound. Anywhere I go that has African people, I am home. If this is in the very spirit of this space as Africa Week 2020, I don't know what is. Because that's all we're trying to do here. Bring us together. So let's show up for one another. Let's allow us to bring all we can here. And let's listen to each other. I was so stubborn. I was like, nah, Alexandra, I'm going to try. And you know, you told me, you're like, I know in the end you're going to do what you want to do. And I did because I wanted to be able to come to you. First of all, I didn't want to admit that I can no longer pull all nighters the way I know how to pull all nighters because that's just rubbish. But the truth is, I can no longer pull all nighters the way I pull all nighters. So that in and of itself is really emotional for me to take care of. So I'm gonna need the family to show up and console me in the fact that I can no longer pull the all-nighters the way I know how to pull all-nighters. But I also wanted to be able to tell you that we tried. We really, really, really did. We tried preparing live streams, uh, playlists for the days so that we're able to share knowledge even if we're not physically at the screen speaking to you, so we may take time to rest a little bit. Facebook shut that down. we tried to have virtual study or co-working space where I play music in the background for you. Facebook shut that down, even though we had permission for that. The UJ actually gave us permission to use this, but Facebook shut it down anyway. And even though we do have families showing up to say, listen, we have radio shows that you can have access to, it is now clear that Facebook will shut that down. So we're going to need to find other ways to make this work. So if you are on the continent and watching this and you are doing something that you want to share with the rest of the family around the world, you are in a prime position to do that, because the time zone for which we need covering is yours. It is your morning on the continent. If you find it worth exploring for you, on our website we have a streaming partnership form, which Alexandra will drop for you because my eyes are far too blurry right now to locate it online. And
It's just africaweek2020.com. It's the first tab. It says streaming partners. It's so clear. You can't miss it.
I am going to pull that out and I'm going to put it for you so that you have no questions about it.
Basically, we realize that as time goes on, and from the experiences we've had, that what we are able to pull off between two people, and sometimes we've had help, like right at the nth hour, like people will come in to like help, and it's awesome to have that. And ultimately, if we want this to be something like match the vision that we see, we need a lot more people, and especially when it comes to fulfilling a vision of 24/7 streaming. But we also know that there's other options of reaching people, and how we put out our the work that comes through all of you onto the platform. So there's also other solutions, I think, that are coming, and we're open to hearing them from you.
Iman is saying, Iman, who was on this panel and also hopped onto an earlier panel today for science diplomacy, said that that panel put faith in my heart and power in my spirit, power to action. That is a gift beyond what language can describe. Iman, I'm so very grateful to you for joining and for sharing this. And please, if you have the energy, if you're still up for it, here is the panel. Here is the link.
Imani Newsom,
Imani, you as well.
hello. Join us.
Say hello and hop back off, but do join us. Sandra is saying it's okay to hold those around you accountable. We are calling positive energy. Yes.
I also wonder if people are getting. I also wonder a lot about the time of year it is, and people being over. I know I'm feeling this, like wanting to not be online. Like I've always had issues with being online, but I wonder if there's something in consciousness where less people are wanting to be in an online space. I also wonder about that sometimes. What do you think?
It might be. I think I don't think that's the issue, because I think people are still coming through and people are still watching and people are still wanting to connect, because the longer this stays, and now it looks like we don't know how much longer, and there's talk about another wave coming and other talk about, martial law, and another talk about all the madness with the election. We really don't know what's coming, and the only thing that really grounds us is family. So there is more of a need for people to come together.
Speaking,
Um,
of, I was talking to my parents about going home in December, and my parents like, "Are you going to come home?" And I was like, "I don't know if there's even going to be an airport there." When they live in Denver, but I was or Colorado. I just I as I was saying out loud, I was like, "Yeah, that's a real possibility. There might not be an airport. I'm willing to believe that there might not be an airport there in Denver. I'm
why?
willing to believe many. Why? Because people decided to stop working there.
Okay, okay.
I'm all for a mass of people just deciding to reject our work for money systems. Just like, no, we don't run these structures anymore. Although some of them are, I love having the airports. I love that I can go see my parents. I love all of that. But I think that in December is a month after an election in a country that doesn't have fair elections. That is we are at the end of a destructive era, and it's usually pretty bad until it's over. It's gonna get better. It is, but we're still in the super destructive part of that era. And so, if somebody were to say to me like, unicorns would start walking on the earth in December, I would believe that as much as the airport not being here in December. I'm ready for anything. I was talking to Eze today about um dragons, and he was like, there was this old book. I love that thing, unicorn. He said there's this old book, and in the book is this. It's a really old. It's like one of the first maybe shamanic books or something, and it talks about their details about dragons, about real dragons. And I
You see, I brought it. I put unicorn mode, and then unicorn hopped on.
Hello, ladies.
hello,
Oh, welcome.
welcome to Family
Thank
Hour.
you. Thank you. I missed you guys. I'm so sorry. Joey keeps on telling me, like, he'll clue me in on certain things and whatnot, but I going back to teaching and the
Tell
remote
Joey
learning.
he has no room to speak. He has no room to speak because he does not have a panel. He does not have a session.
Yeah, we were wondering where his channel was.
And he
We
still
look
sits
every
on
day.
the
We
back putting in all these comments. Like, did you see him fully engaging on that gardening session? I'm like,
Oh,
Joey,
he should have just jumped on in. He should have just jumped on it. Yeah, but he loves doing that. He likes jumping in. He's like a little, I don't know, call him whatever, dragonfly. In and out, in and out.
but
yes.
now that
Do that.
you said dragon again, Sandra, what do you think about dragons?
Um, I mean, they're cool, I guess. I don't
Do
know.
you think,
It's
do you think that 2020, if there ever was a year for them to come back, do you think maybe that this could be the time?
I mean, if you want to take it literally, I won't put anything past 2020. I'm done expecting anything. I have been putting myself in a state of acceptance, adaptation, and moving on. So it's just like, okay, there's a dragon across the street, no problem. Just don't get in front of the dragon, don't get behind the dragon. Try to see if you can go under the dragon and keep on going. I'm done with I'm like, I'm adapting and moving on.
I feel I feel like we have seen, and what has been revealed right now, and what we see is every type of human evil that has been is it's been repeated, it's been revealed, it's right in front of us. And I think that just as we can perceive all of those things, what about all of the amazing stuff and magical stuff? We have just as much opportunity for
We
those
have more.
too.
We have
And
more. I think that there is more. We just need to be, because we immediately react to the negative energy, and yet we just kind of like, ah, for the positive. No, we need to exaggerate and appreciate and and share the positive more than we share the negative, because there is always positive to look even within the negative. I mean, I got to tell you, the day before yesterday, I had this nightmare. It was an anxiety nightmare, and it had to do with rioting. And I think it was because I felt like this impending negativity that's happening here in the United States, and anywhere in the world, anywhere in the world. And when I come, and I dreamt about the riots, and then when I'm looking at the news, it was the same environment, the same color of night. It was everything. And then when I talked to Joey about it, he said, I had a dream just like that same night. And he was talking about, we were trying to get back home to Puerto Rico, but it was the same anxiety. And I said, regardless, I have to put in the positive. So we're staring at the news, and I can almost feel, there was a moment where you can feel that charge of energy within all those masses of people walking.
Yes.
And I said, but they're walking in unison. I don't see the violence. I'm seeing the voices, or I'm hearing the voices being heard. And look, I think somebody's peeking in his head. There he is.
No.
And you see how he just disappeared? He does that. They're complaining about you.
That's nothing new.
With you. Where's your panel? Every day for 30 days, we've been looking at the calendar. We didn't see your panel come through.
Imani,
I'll tell him.
Share your comments anymore. You have the link. Click on it and join. This is a family hour. And you keep saying, you just said y'all sound so tired. How are you going to keep me posting your comments up here? Help the sisters out. Just click on that link and speak. Come
yes. On. Come. Mira, que te montes en el link, pa. Join us. I don't know if he heard me.
No. He knows if he joins, he'll get a whooping. Look, brother, he messaged me. He's like, there is this woman you need to speak to. Da 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 da. Here is her name. I will have her connect with you. Of course, I'll speak to her. There's nothing to be shy about. We're all family here. Da 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 da. I finally connect with the woman. I'm speaking with the woman. I was like, blessings, sister. Tell me what you're doing. Da 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 da. And then she's like, oh, it came here when Joey was 9. And I was like, because she had said Joey before, and I was like, that's just a coincidence. And then came here when Joey was 9. I was like, hang on. Which Joey are we talking about here? And she said, Joey. And I was like, the Joey who connected us? She said, yes. And I was like, what do you mean when he was 9? And she's like, well, he's my son. And I was like,
that lady's Joey's mom?
Yes!
That's his mother-in-law, yeah. She just texted me. She goes, do I have to download an app? I said, no, she'll send you a link and she'll tell you how to get on. And you just goes directly on it. And she's like, okay, that's what she said. So she's trying to get ready. She's amazing. That woman is amazing.
She's
Which
ready.
channel is that?
Come through the bobbin.
The bobbin lace. Yes, the bobbin lace. She's
yeah, it's called wheeling the bobbins and needle.
Mm-hmm.
A new panel on that? A whole panel on
that? Yeah. It's an hour long where she will tell us about the work. She will be working. Because she was saying she didn't want to she's shy just speaking about it, and she's more comfortable like if she's talking as she's working. I told her that's even better. You work as you speak, and that way we get to see what you're working on. We hear the journey, and I will share the oh, now I feel bad because I feel like Imani got offended. If Imani, fine, I'll share your comments. Keep commenting.
Yes, ma'am. So my mother-in-law, I remember the day I fell in love with my mother-in-law. Joey and I were dating, but I fell in love with my mother-in-law when they took me out. I think it was a family wedding. So they took me along to go to the wedding. And my mother-in-law comes out with this beautiful peach suit. Now, my mother-in-law has this gorgeous olive colored skin. We call it café con leche, right? Coffee and milk. And I'm like, oh my goodness, wow, that suit looks really good with your skin tone. She goes, oh, thanks. I made it. And I'm like, mate, what'd you make? And she's talking about her outfit. So this woman is like a master seamstress. I had no idea. Since then, she would make this woman made my school uniforms because I went to high school in Puerto Rico. And I went to middle school and high school in Aguadilla, Puerto Rico. She made my prom dress. She made my wedding dress. She's been part of my life for a very long time. So I love this woman to death. And
We love you,
what
Mark.
is yes, Carmen is amazing. And as far as the bobbin lace, it's a traditional thing that we get in Puerto Rico, but she never got it from like it's inherited, you know? Hi.
Peace and blessings.
Hello.
Please, blessings. I feel the love. I feel the love. And that's what we need to do. We need to share this love. We're going back to the positivity. I saw the negativity yesterday, I think it was, and I was watching the news, and I needed to find that positivity in it because and negative energy drains me very, very, very quickly. I am extremely sensitive to negative energy. So it will sap all the life out of me, which is my colleagues sometimes get annoyed because I'm a very high positive person, especially in the morning because I practice yoga in the morning. So by the time I get to work, I'm like, good morning, everybody. And they're like, stop. I have not had my cup of coffee. Meanwhile, I'm on coffee number 3, you know. It's just like, it's not, I mean, I was the negative, stop, don't talk to me. I haven't had my 3rd cup of coffee yet. I used to be that way till I discovered yoga, right? Then now it's like, oh, I'm a whole different person. But I gotta say that positivity is something that we have to constantly look for. And sometimes you get tired looking for it. But at the same time, it's wonderful when you find other people, right? And then it just all of a sudden it becomes like this super magnet for positivity. And look at this, Imani joined us. And now she's here with her beautiful smile. And now we have all this positivity coming in. I love it. I love
Many
it.
thanks.
Bring it on.
Sometimes I feel kind of guilty for not watching the news. I feel like I'm so out of the loop. But then as soon as I watch the news, I start to feel like I'm going down. My energy's going down and I'm getting depressed. And so a lot of times when I'm on social media, I only look for positive stories. And like I said, I feel guilty for not knowing what's going on around the world. And somebody will mention something and I'll be looking side eye like I'm supposed to know this. I'm supposed to know this, but I don't know anything.
That's okay though, because we need that breath of fresh air.
I really keep this website handy.
Okay.
Positive.news. It helped me go through a very, very difficult time. We're family, so I mean we're all family, but like it's the end of the day on my end.
You're fine, Dimah.
Yeah. That website. I mean, let me just show you really quick. Just the headlines of this site, because it was during the Arab tsunami, which they call a spring. It's not a spring, don't believe them. We have not seen, but an almost flower in Tunisia that's about to get uprooted very soon, if the Arabs get their way. But positive.news, here are some of the headlines. Moving up a gear, one charity's plan to keep the UK on 2 wheels. Skincare as nature intended, lifting the lid on organic cosmetics. What went right this week? Lego's plastic pledge, peak oil, and more positive news. Legal purpose, how a lawyer made sustainability her career. Oh, yes. The dining scheme that helps young people out of homelessness. More than weeds, the rebel botanists on a mission to celebrate urban plants.
All right.
Okay, yeah, I'm
Oh
jumping. I'm
yeah,
jumping in
yeah.
that one.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna start checking that every morning.
Could you buy only second-hand clothes in September? Madagascar's vanilla farmers are being inspired to plant trees by a gecko.
Oh.
How a podcast about mental health is helping school children flourish, and so much more. And that's just the page.
Yeah, that's
That's beautiful.
beautiful. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
I
Thank
love
you.
it. Now, it is my goal, it is my hope, it is my dream to have an Africa based that, because that's based out of the UK. And as much as I appreciate their efforts and their endeavors in making it as global as possible, we need something like that that's featuring all that is us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have a lot of
Yeah.
positive news. What Elaine was saying in that Black Love series session panel we had, I don't know if you tuned to it yesterday, but if you didn't, do yourself a favor and go and watch it. And I'm very serious, because what he was doing is, he said he asked us to recommend or nominate um, people who would he would be able to feature in a 2 hour session, basically taking a tour around the continent. People
Ah.
will share with us their
Wow.
homeland. Yeah. And he gave us like categories: a dancer, a musician. We didn't have the dancer, but we recommended who else? Anyway, so we had an entrepreneur. We had, and as much as I dislike that word, influencer, because at the end,
Mm-hmm.
we all have greatness, and so we're all influencers one way or another. We just need to make sure we're influencing the right way. Um,
You just made me think of American Horror Story Apocalypse. One of the characters was so intent on being an influencer.
well, I mean, yeah, these words do describe me. American Horror Story. What else? Apocalypse.
Come
Apocalypse
on now.
season 8.
No, Sandra,
Hey,
I'm
you
not.
know what?
I'm
Sometimes
not. My name. My name. Do you know what my name means?
no.
No.
Take a guess.
Well,
Powerful.
if you're saying apocalypse,
My name means the cloud that carries the first drop of rain and keeps on pouring. Now, that could be a blessing, but it also could be very dark and very ominous. You know, the kind of storms that come and bring the flood. Yeah, that's what my name means. I'm not sure until now which one my mom was going for, and I
oh,
between them.
sometimes ambiguity is good. You got to have a little bit of positive. You got to have the negative to give you the right stress to keep on pushing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the balance. It's just the
It's
balance.
the balance. It's the
Yes.
balance.
There is a lot of power in storms. The power to heal as well as to destroy.
That's
And
right.
sometimes we have to destroy in order to rebuild.
Oh, believe
Right.
there
Right.
will be some destruction
Thank you,
coming.
Miss Imani. Thank you for pulling it out of my mouth because I was just about to say it, and I'm like, yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, you got it.
Believe destruction is coming.
Some destruction is necessary.
Oh
Down
yeah,
with the status quo.
Ashe. Ayuaba! Yes.
Hello, fam.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
It's so exciting just to see this much power in one place. And I was going through my Facebook and I'm like, I got the invitation. I need to be here. I need to be here. Like ASAP, ASAP. It's been extremely late. I just finished a workshop, so I was like, just want to drop by, say hello, show some love and appreciation and respect. Actually, do my dues. You guys are been amazing. I mean, I know I haven't been posting a lot, but I'm watching and I'm sharing and I'm talking and I'm processing and I'm learning. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything you guys are doing. You guys are just awesome, and I'm humbled to be with you guys today. So seriously, so much appreciation and much love.
Thank you, Abdul Wahab. Thank you for joining us. I guess I owe you as much of the apology that I just gave Alexandra, and since we're family, I'm gonna do it here because fam, this is what we do. When we're wrong, we own up to our mistakes. I didn't listen to Abdul Wahab as well because he told me the same thing Alexandra said, and like popped all these eyes at me through the screen when I said I will be pulling an all-nighter to keep the live stream going, and send me like, all the go to sleeps that I ignored. And it happened. And this only proves to me how we are family. You can shamelessly plug them in if you get online. Yes. And this is why we're family. I didn't even need to write it. And she's already writing it.
I want to say something about this because, you know, if we're going to build a bridge, if Africa Week 2020 is going to have longevity, remember we started talking about this in May, and remember like Beto had joined us and he had just been in the streets, and Emmy had joined us and he'd just been in the streets for like protesting and stuff. And we were talking about how a foundation is important, and as people who want to create some sort of revolution or want to make a change in this world, we have to have a strong foundation. We have to take care of ourselves if we want to have longevity. It makes the quality of the experience for ourselves as well as the people we're trying to help better. And so I know that you had to go through that and do the all-nighter, but
It's really, I mean, it's nothing funny here. What you're laughing at.
I'm not laughing at you.
I'm amazed.
Conversation that we had, the several conversations we had about this, we have to.
You know what? But you know what? I'm very grateful because this only proves that everything happens for a reason. One, yes, I needed to be able to see it. I needed to be. Don't shake your head because you don't know what I'm going to say.
I actually know exactly. You're trying to justify.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm giving thanks. I'm giving gratitude. I'm acknowledging. What I'm saying is, if I wasn't up, I would have missed a very great opportunity to reconnect with an old and dear friend who I hadn't spoken to him since 2004.
Oh.
The last time him and I saw each other was back then when I was in undergrad. That's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous time, and I don't necessarily want to remember. But what came out of that was an hour and a half impromptu session, essentially, for Africa Week 2020, which yielded 5 tips for anyone considering to relocate or repatriate to the continent, whether they are continental or diasporan Africans. Those tips were there, and it was just a really interesting insight to see his experience returning, from Virginia after 14 years or something, and having to pick up everything in 2 weeks and go to Kenya.
Wow.
And I was like, Frankie, tell me, what was the first thing you did for you? You know, I'm trying to think. For me, I went to the Nile. As soon as I got to my village, the first thing I did for me, I went to the river. He said Wi-Fi. I got myself some strong Wi-Fi. And I'll leave it at that, but please go and see that session. But this session wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have connected. And then we ended up having a conversation about how to make this more effective. And don't you worry, he channeled both of you in terms of telling me how crazy this is and my staying awake. You were there. You were with me along the way. And every time, I begin to yawn, I see Alexandra's face. I know you're going to end up doing what you want to do. I saw it, which is why I'm owning up to my mistake. And again, which is why I'm saying, this is how I know we're family. Because if I didn't consider her family, I probably wouldn't have ignored her. I probably would have listened a little more. Because that's what we do. We think our family is just telling us stuff.
We ignore our family.
They love us anyway. And we're just like, yeah, no, sure, okay. But family also means that they know, as they're telling us this, that they're going to be ignored and that we're going to do it. And what they're going to say is eventually going to happen, but they're going to love us anyway. And they're going to find the right time to lecture us. You see Abdullah having his coffee. It's because he knows he's waiting until the Monday after Africa Week 2020, at which point he will send a text. He will not call me because he knows that I'm going into hibernation mode, but he will send a text. And he
I saw the coffee. Now I'm jealous.
I know where you live, so Dimah, I'm gonna come. So
Everybody has a process.
yeah. I mean, the coffee for me is I'm fasting today, so I do fast Mondays and Thursdays where I don't eat, drink, do nothing since from sunset to sunrise, from sunrise to sunset. It's actually the opposite. See, I'm tripping a little bit, and the coffee is a must. But I think I'm reaching such of addiction, so I drink my coffee at 10 o'clock at night and I sleep like a baby like an hour later, so I have no issues with that at all. I see Alexandra's look. She's like, huh, this is interesting.
yes.
From a person who's been drinking coffee from the bottle, yes, that's addiction right there. If you drink it any time of day or night, you're fine.
That's it. That's it. That's
Or
it.
join the club.
Yeah. And the addiction for me got like so bad where now I went and actually bought the actual machine. So I'm going through the process. Now I'm picking my beans and I'm putting it through the process and I'm smelling it and I'm making sure it's like that quality. It's that
It's
bad.
starting to sound like Inas.
Yeah.
Okay, Iman, I was just joking. I'll plug what you're doing here, but I'm still hoping you'll get encouraged to hop on because we have 7 minutes for this family reunion, for this family hour. Not for the reunion, but for this family hour. And believe, at 6 minutes and 59 seconds, I am out of here.
Much deserved rest.
Bam. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and I'm not even sorry that it's not going to be 24/7 continuous. You know what? I can say in full confidence, I tried.
So question for the team, question for the family actually. You're about to go to bed, hopefully right after this, and you are to reflect back on your whole entire day. What is that one thing that you did today that you can actually pat yourself in the back and say to yourself, I'm so proud of me for doing this, impact this, or just challenge this, and you'll go to bed knowing that you're fulfilled. It was part of your purpose. It's part of just growth, and it's part of your passion and happiness. What would that one thing will be if you are to tell it to yourself right before you go to bed tonight?
I have one.
Sure.
I used to I used to ask close-ended questions just because that's how I learned how to ask questions. And so I've been working on that for the last like 7, 8 years, for a while. And it's because I was also training my mind to ask, it's either yes or no. And that's not how the world works. There's so many options. There's infinite options. So one of the things that I was really nervous about with my 6T show that's at Africa Week 2020 is just interviewing people is can I ask questions that really feel comfortable for them to ask, or am I going to keep, I don't want to be like yellow journalism and like, corner them in or whatever. And so I put a lot of attention into that. And then today at the end of one of the 6Ts, the person was like, you asked really good questions. Like I just felt, he literally said, you asked these questions where I just feel like it's open and I can just kind of feel comfortable. And he said almost the exact words that said what I was trying to do. And I was like, oh, thank you.
and by the way, you guys, November, I think November.
Right.
No, but seriously, who are you calling guys on this panel right now and in this room?
Me and everyone else, except Dimah with an H. But one thing, 60, or was it November 10th? I think.
Oh yeah, November. AB is one of my guests.
Yes, so I made it. That's when you look back and say, "Mama, you made it. I made it, Alexandra's show." Yes.
What happened? I'm so lost right now. What's going on?
AB is going to be one of my guests, but because 6T is now something that I can maintain and keep doing it, even if it's not at Africa Week. And so AB is, I've started lighting up my guests for the next, month or so, or the next 2 months. And so he is
Mhm.
my guest.
Amazing.
Mama
Yes, I'm
made it.
looking for the date right now.
Yes, yes.
You made it. You can stop stealing my name now, Abdullah.
Did you share the story, by the way?
No,
Okay, good, good.
no,
So
no.
earlier, just a
I
quick.
don't know if they're showing up as squares. Are you seeing Abdul Wahhabani's names? It's in English and Arabic, and then there's something else. What's appearing at that something else for you?
Looks Russian.
It looks Russian.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, but you're seeing actual characters and not squares or rectangles.
I see actual.
Characters.
Okay, characters. Okay, yeah. So these are
Or Russian.
so that's our name in well, it's my name in Nubian. It's Abdul Wahhab's
Wow.
business in Nubian because Abdul Wahhab's not cool enough to have his name in Nubian yet. Although he recently found out he was Nubian.
so
What?
Unfortunately, I'm only seeing the squares.
Yeah,
ah,
Wow. It looks like Gez then. Wow. Okay.
yeah, it is. It is very close because it's the Coptic letters.
Ah.
Oh, okay. That's why it says Greek, it's Russian, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's the Coptic letters.
so Sandra, what you got? Like, what is that one thing that you can sit back tonight and pat yourself in the back and say, "Yes, Mama made it. This is purpose."
I'm always going to go back to my classroom. I'm really passionate about what I do as a teacher. I'm like, I live, eat, and breathe education. And today, I have a new batch of middle schoolers. I call my sixth graders always my new batch, right? Because they've come in from elementary, they're not used to. I've been working in this school for about 4 years now. So most of the middle schoolers know who I am, and so they got with my flow basically, and I understand who they are. But I got my new batch of middle schoolers, and I think today they finally realized that I do care, and because it takes a long time for kids to develop that trust in their educators. If they
Yes.
don't trust, and it's hard for them to trust when you go to a school with a high turnover rate. They're not going to trust you. You're going to leave them. You're going to abandon them. They're not going to listen. They're not going to do whatever. And I'm really strict, and I'm a no nonsense teacher, but I have a lot of fun with them. So today I think was the day that they realized I'm here. I'm not going to let them go. I'm not going to let them quit because it's easier. Because sometimes it is easier for you not to try. I'm not going to let them quit. And they're going to have to deal with me all year round. And I'm going to continue bothering them. And we're going to argue. And guess what? I'm going to tell you I love you at the end of the day. And I'm going to say welcome with a huge smile the next morning. Because this is how I am. So I think I finally had them realize that that they can trust me to be their educator. And I hope that they can allow me to do that. I'm like, I'm going to hold you by your hand at first, then I'm going to let you fly. You're going to do your own thing, but I got to show you the way. So today was one of those days for me.
Are you teaching virtually or in person?
I am teaching virtually. Let me tell you, there's good and there's bad. One, I can't hug my kids. I miss that. I miss my hugs. I'm a very affectionate teacher. I'm one of those that'll grab you and hug you. That's how I was terrified of doing that. As I taught for years in Puerto Rico, and in Puerto Rico, we're very affectionate. We peck each other on the cheek constantly, right? So imagine how I would be in Puerto Rico as a teacher, like I can't kiss my kids, and so it's hard when you're an affectionate person to have to do so. With my kids, I give them hugs and I tell you that the only thing I do like is I don't have to play bouncer for a while. I'm good with not having to play bouncer with the fight. But other than that, my kids, I really do. And the mute button is great.
That's awesome. That's
Yes.
Wonderful. I want to be in your classroom.
Dima, you
I
made
need
it,
that energy
Mama.
on a daily.
You made it, Mama.
nice.
Come. They tell me I have it all day. Yep, yep. It's there because I love when you love what you do. It's easy to find. And my
Yes.
dog just second that motion. When you love what you do, it's easy to find that energy.
That, that,
That's
Amen.
all.
Iman.
Yes.
Oh, we have Iman and Imani.
Yes, thank you for letting me in. I just wanted to quickly shamelessly plug the nonprofit that I'm on the board of, but I so what we do is we feed homeless Black and Brown populations in Los Angeles. So if you know
Oh, beautiful.
anyone, I need volunteers and I need them ASAP. And we provide training and it's COVID safe and everything, but I think a big part of what we do is we have to also give back. So if you know anyone, please send them my info. I need volunteers just to drive and drop off food in Los Angeles.
Hmm.
Hey, Iman, will you actually friend me on Facebook as Alexandra Lewis and then contact me?
Yes.
Because I help with the Well Moms International group, which is the newly formed group. And
Hmm.
there's a lot of them in that group who are not interested in being on front lines. A lot of those people left and went to different groups, but are looking for
Okay.
things they can do that is not as threatening as being on, front lines and being tear gassed and stuff. And so
Mm.
one of the things we're
Yes.
training that group to do, because it's an international
Yes.
group, one of the things we're training them to do is to do things like food box programs, and we're doing that a pilot sort of project with a group here in Portland, and we have a lot of people
Uh-huh.
who are like in California, all up and down the coastline, that are just watching
Wonderful.
what we do. So do get in touch with me, okay?
Absolutely, absolutely. And what we do is like mindlessly easy for anybody that's interested in doing it. We work with film studios, so they have all those prepackaged, nice, fancy foods. So we
Ah.
have contracts with them, and we take all their leftovers and just leave them for homeless populations. So it's really almost effortless. It's just a matter of carrying from A to B, and
Mhm.
anybody that knows Los Angeles knows that the homeless population here is like 95% our people. So we need to give back to our people, and this is a very easy way to do it. And I think you can use it as a tax write-off. I'm not sure yet, but I will have more details about that. But yeah.
Iman is also connected. I'm very, 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 very connected in LA. Not necessarily just in as far as that. Even if you want to push it further, mental health therapists, psychiatrists, psychologists, doctors,
Mm.
and these guys are very genuine, willing to help. So let's definitely connect.
Oh, awesome.
Definitely
I
circulate.
will. I will connect with you guys.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you
There's
for
the
letting me hop on
positivity.
Thank you for your
to
work.
plug that.
Yep.
No, thank you
That's
guys. I have to
wonderful.
run and I have to go do that now. So thank you. I will get in touch with you guys. I love all of you. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you.
Blessings to
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Imani.
you.
Um, my one thing is not so grand and far reaching. It's very, very personal. Um, because of some challenges and upheavals in my city and within my own family, I have my one thing is um, actually practicing what I teach, trying to stay positive, trying to stay focused and not sink into sadness or anxiety or depression. In my section of Norfolk is Lambert's Point, and unfortunately, we are overshadowed by a large university, and a lot of opportunists have been converting single family homes into student houses or rooming houses, And unfortunately, we got the notice
Mm-hmm.
that we are going to have to move in 2 months from where we've been living for decades, because they're going to convert this into a student house. So that also is related to homelessness in the city of Norfolk and in Hampton Roads, which is our region. Um, but I stayed on task. Even though it was a downer, doing searches for a new place to live. Like I said, we have 2 months to find someplace new to live, or we may be living in a shelter. But I'm not going to speak that into existence. I am firmly of the belief that we will find something better with before our time expires.
For sure. Inshallah.
Imani, just out of curiosity, do you mind sharing your contact information? And do you mind if I share that contact information with someone to reach out?
Oh, I do not mind.
Perfect, perfect. Hampton, I'm very, very familiar with Hampton Road. I was there actually. We opened up a couple of offices in the past when I was in mental health and expansion. So I do have some contacts. I know some business owners and some property owners. So let me just reach out
Ah,
and just see what comes out of it. I mean, it might be nothing, but at least it's a try. But thank you for allowing me to just make that connection at least.
do many thanks.
So
Many
if
thanks for offering.
in a private chat, put your contact information so that there's an instant connect. Also, maybe follow one another.
Thank you for sharing that, everybody. And think it was a great question, AB.
Yes,
Thank you
AB.
for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And also, we're just over, and we're at the end of our.
We are, and I said I
We're
would leave.
so
I
glad
did
you're here.
want to contribute. This is my moment. This is,
Mm.
and this sentiment was not just about. I mean, I know she's talking about the panel that she was just on, and this is Iman who just logged on right now and shared what she's doing. Um, but that's that comment summed basically everything we're working on. And then where did it go? Oh, here. So the introductions for Africa Week 2020 go as: who are you, what keeps you up at night, and how can the family help? And the how can the family help part from Shayla from that last panel said, I just need to know that we love each other.
Ah,
Mm.
to you
Uh,
go. Yes.
this is exactly why we're here. And, Alexandra and I have had, this is our third family hour this week. And I now know why no one logged on the first 2 days. Because today we needed this. Today we needed you to come through. And I'm so very grateful. AB, your moment, and then we say goodnight.
Um, I think knowing that I gave it all today.
Mm.
Today, it's all about gratitude. It's all about uh, like just digging deeper into purpose. I think it's been a busy day. Been up since 4 o'clock, and literally I mean, after this, probably go back, go to bed after it. But within the day, we're able to connect families together, impact, talk to people, visit family, preventing a suicide attempt, connecting couple people with people that just they love them, and have couple deep conversations, and then release
Mhm.
new stories as far as what we want to do. And I think looking back at it, I was driving back home before this workshop that I had, at 8 o'clock, and just going through my whole entire day, and what Dima just said here, that we needed to be here today. Like literally, that was that. Like I'm here for this particular reason. That I'm being used in a sense to help impact. And I think each and every single one of us have a role to play. Like I mean, again, We could have been anywhere in the world right now, but we're here helping each other, supporting each other, showing love and respect, and being here for one another. And that's not a coincidence. I promise you, that's not a coincidence. It's meant for us to be here. It's meant for us to talk and ask those questions and talk and inspire one another to keep moving forward. But I think this is purpose. If you so for me, that's a confirmation. And I think I'll sleep like a baby tonight and get up the next day 4 o'clock and go on at it again one more time and just taking it one day at a time, one impact at a time, one person at a time, and just give it my all. To be honest with you, that was my moment of clarity, right? And I'll pat myself for it, my back for it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Grateful, grateful. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Can you think about Obaya and Leif joining me tomorrow for What's Right with Africa?
8 o'clock, yes. Make sure I feed them. They haven't had dinner today, so they've been very cranky. So if anyone is looking for a babysitter tomorrow, I'll ship them for you guys and keep them for the weekend.
If I were at all functional, I would welcome it. But I don't even know how I'm gonna get off from this chair to get to the bed. If I'm being honest.
That's
Grateful
diplomacy.
there are wheels because
That's awesome. Perfect.
All right, friends.
I am sending blessings and love and respect and sweet dreams to all of you. You have
I'm
inspired
sending
me.
hope, success, and every door that closes opens five, Imani. Sometimes we're
Ah,
pushed out of the way so we can get to better places. So it's okay to be out of your comfort zone. It's okay. And you carry home no matter where you stand.
that's true.
thank you.
Coming from
Thank
someone who had to leave home, home is no matter where you stand. Okay?
Yes.
So
Yes.
don't you worry about that. Things will be just as beautiful and blessed.
It's absolutely not a state. It's a
Thank
state of
you.
mind. It's not a place. It's a place.
Awesome.
A sacred
That's right.
space.
It is. All right, my loves,
It is.
family,
Thank you.
Al Bashir, love, lots of love back to you. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we have more coming and more and more and more to come.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.